Here's the page we're going to be inking today. My old microns are starting to dry up, so it's time to open a new pack. I hate when that happens. There we go. Yeah, those work way better. I think I like to start with the faces because they're like the most fun for me. Let's save these inner details for like some smaller pens because I like to go thicker on the outside. It just looks a lot more dynamic and cool when you do it that way. I'm even doubling up on these lines on the outside a little bit just to make them thicker. This guy's my main character. He's got like a full bodysuit of chainmail that's like very form-fitting, which is by medieval standards is extremely unrealistic, but this is kind of a fantasy fictional thing, so I don't worry about it too much. I like the way it looks, and so I do it. So these characters have actually existed in my mind for many years. Could be making a graphic novel appearance someday, hopefully. So now I'm actually going to go in, and I never got these two faces exactly how I wanted them in pencil, so I'm going to go pencil them in how I want them with like bodies and especially faces. If you mess a face up, you can't really go back, and in my opinion, it just kind of ruins the whole thing. So I want to make sure I've got these faces exactly how I want them before I put the pen on them. All right, I've only used the largest fine liner so far, so it's time to start using the smaller pens. Time for the scariest part of the inking. I'm not sure why, but it feels like the pressure's really on when I draw girls. It's like, if I mess up even a little bit, it's the end of the world. If I mess up a guy, it's like, no big deal. Okay, that didn't turn out awful. I am not really an expert on medieval women's fashion, but that seems kind of believable. Kind of want to do like some kind of Greek or Roman maybe. It's always kind of fun to mesh different cultures together. I want to try to start doing that more. These boots are almost giving like elvish vibes. Can't remember where I learned this method, but I like to kind of, instead of drawing every single scale, I only draw where the areas are going to be darker to kind of hint at shading. That way I don't have to draw as many. It suggests light and shadow. Okay, I think that is about all the character detail work. I'll come back later and do some more shading and block in some black areas. But now we get to work on the background. I don't find background work very exciting, so I'm probably gonna actually keep it very minimal and light. So like very thin lines. Is it focus? There we go. So I'm gonna use like some really finer pens for the background just to keep it very subtle and, you know, not too obnoxious. It's supposed to be background and not distracting from the rest of what's going on. Maybe even kind of shakier lines than I usually do. I don't know, might be kind of a cool effect when I'm done. I'm gonna draw like two little potentially menacing silhouettes in this doorway. Just keep things fun, mysterious maybe. A little cape. It's Darth Vader. Spies maybe? This might be the origin story for a story. All right, I think that is enough work on the background. Actually, I take that back. I'm gonna do like some little wood details really quick. Some little knots to add texture. Now I'm gonna go in and add some areas of black and do some shading. I think it'll make this have some contrast. These two pens are actually from my last set. I didn't use them as much, so they still work fine. And there wasn't an equivalent to them in the current set I got, but these will just be for blocking in large areas. Oh, I just realized the mistake I'm making. So since I've already got my lines put in, I actually want to erase all the pencil stuff that's going on because I don't even need it anymore. And what happens is when I erase these black areas, they might gray down a little bit because they were sitting on top of graphite. So I want to get rid of all of that. So that's the next step before I fill in anything else. Guys, I bent the page while erasing. I need to hire like a professional eraser that won't bend the page because like every single time I managed to crinkle it up a little bit. Yeah, this marker's starting to give out too. But I kind of like the texture it creates. So we got like some almost gray texture going on here. This feels like cheating. I can change the opacity because it's so dry. Throw in some sort of fabric texture maybe. And then with these we start creating some depth. Contrast, I think, is what makes drawings interesting. I'm no professor or anything, but you know, no one wants to look at a blank white page, no one wants to look at a blank black page. We want something in between. Stuff going on. We like simplicity too sometimes, so I guess it's a balance. I'm not sure if I've exactly mastered it, but I think when drawing leather, if you want it to look older and more beat up and scuffed up, then you don't want quite as much black and white going on. And obviously you want to throw some scuffs in there. Some wild lines in there, make it interesting. I've tried doing this once or twice before. I really like how it turned out. I guess I just kind of do a similar thing that I did with the chainmail, but it's a different material. I'm trying to create kind of like a canvasy fabric look. Yeah, that's already starting to feel like overkill, so I'm probably gonna stop right there. One more. Okay, now I'm gonna stop. And there is the finished inked drawing. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. Let me know what you think about this type of thing. I might do it more often. And you take care of yourself, get off YouTube, and have an awesome day.